While she is pregnant, Jinger Duggar is relying on her sister Joy Anna. In the month of October in the year 2024, Jinger and Jeremy made the announcement that they are expecting their subsequent child. It is a blessing for Jinger Duggar to have Joy Anna as a part of her life. Jinger Duggar is revealing her dependence on her sister Joy Anna Duggar in a new interview that she gave to People magazine. "Because Joy and I are kind of going through the same season," she added, "I've been talking to her a lot." Several passages in Ecclesiastes are the source of the term seasons being used by many Christians to describe different phases of life. It is a blessing for Jinger Duggar to have Joy Anna as a part of her life. Jinger Duggar is revealing her dependence on her sister Joy Anna Duggar in a new interview that she gave to People magazine. "Because Joy and I are kind of going through the same season," she added, "I've been talking to her a lot." Several passages in Ecclesiastes are the source of the term seasons being used by many Christians to describe different phases of life. After that, Jinger elaborated, "She has 3 children, and I'm getting close to having 3 children. As a result, we talk a lot, whether it's through FaceTime calls or simply to catch up." Despite the fact that Joy Anna Duggar is 27 years old, Jinger Duggar acknowledged during the interview that Joy feels like she's an older sister. Joy Anna is 4 years older than their mother. Gunnar, who is 20 months old, Gideon, who is 6 years old, and Evelyn, who is 4 years old, are all shared by Joy Anna and Austin Forsyth. Given that Jinger and Jeremy Vuolo have 2 children together, Felicity, who is 6 years old, and Evangeline, who is 4 years old, the similarities are clear. On the other hand, Joy's experience as a mother of 3 is also similar. In Jinger's life, Joy Anna is not the only Duggar who can be considered helpful. The family that Jinger comes from is quite large. They were unique in that they were large enough to be a circus attraction, and for years they were a mainstay on TLC reality television. This was before the cult features of the Duggar household became obvious. As a consequence of this, she has a plethora of siblings. It has been confirmed by Jinger that she maintains support relationships with Jill, Jana, Jessa, and other individuals. She showed her gratitude by saying, "Having them in my life is simply a blessing." In addition, Jinger stated that it is amazing to be able to communicate with her siblings despite the fact that she is so far away from family. When Jeremy and Jinger made their initial announcement in October that they were expecting their 3rd child, they were excited. March of 2025 is the exact date that they are due. As was indicated earlier, this comes just a few weeks after her interview with People magazine ended. Currently, the Vuolos have 2 daughters of their own. As of right now, they are expecting a son. It takes 3 to make a crowd. The experience of having 2 children is more than twice as difficult as having 1 child, according to the observations of a number of parents. Things are not made simpler by the presence of 3 youngsters. One of the most important aspects of being a successful parent is being able to rely on a support network. The adage, "It takes a village," is accurate, but it should not be applied to a fundamentalist cult that is entirely secluded, such as the one in which Jinger was raised. Having said that, we are hoping that Jinger and Jeremy have friends in their immediate vicinity who are able to assist them. Through the use of video chat, Joy Anna is able to offer guidance and support, yet she is unable to truly babysit in this manner. The Duggar sisters, a bond beyond the cameras. Growing up in the Duggar household was an experience like no other. With 19 children, the Duggar family was no stranger to chaos, noise, and the beautiful mess of family life. Yet, despite the overwhelming number of siblings, there were bonds between the children that were forged through shared experiences, deep connections, and the enduring support of one another. For Jinger Duggar, one of the most meaningful relationships she had was with her younger sister, Joy Anna. The two had shared many milestones together, from childhood antics to becoming mothers in their own right. But there was one time in Jinger's life when she truly felt the depth of that bond, when she was carrying her second child, a pregnancy that proved to be challenging in ways she had not anticipated. As Jinger navigated the highs and lows of pregnancy, she found herself leaning heavily on Joy-Anna, who provided unwavering emotional support. It wasn't just the typical sisterly bond that many could relate to, it was something deeper. Joy-Anna wasn't just there in a casual sense. She was present, involved, and genuinely supportive in a way that Jinger would never forget. And when Jinger became a mother of two, it became even clearer how much she appreciated the love and care that Joy-Anna had poured into her life during that difficult time. Early struggles and unexpected challenges. Jinger Duggar had always dreamed of having a big family. Growing up in a large household with many siblings, she was no stranger to the joys and the challenges that came with being part of such a tight-knit family. After she married Jeremy Vuolo, Jinger was excited to start a family of her own. Her first pregnancy had been relatively smooth, and they welcomed their first daughter, Felicity, into the world. But her second pregnancy was different. From the very beginning, Jinger felt that something wasn't quite the same. Though she was excited about the new life growing inside her, the physical toll of pregnancy hit her harder than expected. Morning sickness was particularly challenging, leaving her feeling drained and exhausted on days when all she wanted to do was rest. The symptoms didn't stop there. Jinger also found herself battling more intense emotions. Pregnancy hormones often made her feel overwhelmed, and there were days when the weight of it all seemed a little too much to bear. It was during this time that she truly began to lean on those who understood her best, her family. And no one stood out more than Joy-Anna. Joy-Anna's constant support. Joy-Anna Duggar had always been one of Jinger's closest confidants. Though their lives had taken different turns, their bond as sisters remained strong. The two had shared childhood memories, family holidays, and significant life events. When Joy-Anna became a mother to her son Gideon, she understood the challenges of pregnancy and motherhood in ways Jinger could relate to, and it was that understanding that made her an invaluable source of support during Jinger's second pregnancy. When Jinger began experiencing the difficulties of pregnancy, it was Joy-Anna who first reached out. "Hey sis, I know things are tough right now, but I'm here for you," Joy-Anna texted one day. It was a simple message, but to Jinger, it meant everything. Just knowing that her sister was there, ready to listen or offer help, gave Jinger the emotional strength to keep going. Joy-Anna's empathy wasn't just limited to kind words. She took time out of her own busy life to check in with Jinger regularly, offering support and comfort. There were days when Joy-Anna would come over to help take care of Felicity, allowing Jinger to rest. Other times, they would simply sit together, chatting about their pregnancies, their hopes for the future, and the things that brought them joy. "Pregnancy can feel like a lonely journey sometimes," Jinger shared in an emotional post on her blog. "But with Joy-Anna by my side, I've never felt alone. She's been my rock in ways I can't even describe." Sisterly conversations, deep talks about faith and family. One of the things that bonded Jinger and Joy-Anna most during this time was their shared faith. Both women had grown up in a Christian home where faith was central to their lives, and they had carried that foundation into their adult years. Pregnancy for Jinger was not just a physical experience, it was also a deeply spiritual one. As Jinger struggled with the highs and lows of her pregnancy, Joy-Anna often shared her own experiences, reminding her that faith could provide strength during the most difficult moments. "Sometimes you just have to lean into God and trust that He's got you," Joy-Anna said one evening as the two sisters sat together in Jinger's living room. The conversation turned to faith and motherhood as they discussed their pregnancies and their hopes for the future. Jinger appreciated the deep, grounding conversations they had. With everything going on in her life, from adjusting to the changes in her body to balancing motherhood and family, these talks reminded her of the bigger picture. Faith has really helped me through this pregnancy, Jinger reflected. I know that God is with me every step of the way. But it's also knowing that I have you by my side, Joy, that makes this journey feel a little easier. The arrival of the new baby, a sister's joy. As Jinger's pregnancy progressed, her excitement for the arrival of her second child grew. But so did the anxiety. The due date seemed to come faster than expected, and Jinger couldn't help but feel nervous about how life would change with 2 children. Joy Anna was there every step of the way. She helped Jinger prepare for the birth by offering advice, sharing her own experiences from her pregnancy, and making sure Jinger didn't feel overwhelmed by the demands of caring for a toddler while preparing for the new baby. When Jinger's baby finally arrived, it was a moment of pure joy, and Joy Anna was right there by her side. "I'm so proud of you, sis," Joy Anna said, holding Jinger's newborn child for the first time. "You did it. You're an amazing mom." Jinger's heart swelled with love as she looked at her sister. The bond between them had deepened in ways she couldn't have imagined. "Thank you for everything, Joy. You've been there for me in a way I'll never forget," Jinger replied, tears of gratitude filling her eyes. Reflecting on the support that changed everything, as the days turned into weeks after the birth, Jinger took some time to reflect on the emotional support she had received during her pregnancy. There were so many people who had been there for her, Jeremy, her parents, and her friends, but the one person who had consistently shown up in a way that no one else had was Joy Anna. It wasn't just the practical support, though that was undoubtedly helpful. It was the emotional support, the kind that came from someone who understood her in a way that no one else could. Joy Anna had been her sounding board, her confidant, and her source of comfort during some of the hardest days of her pregnancy. Looking back, Jinger knew that her pregnancy experience would have been vastly different without her sister's unwavering presence. It wasn't just the big moments, like helping her with Felicity or sitting with her during tough days. It was the small, thoughtful gestures that meant so much. Sending a text to check in, offering a prayer for strength, or just listening when Jinger needed someone to talk to. "I will always be grateful for you, Joy," Jinger said in a heartfelt post on social media. "You showed up for me in ways I can't even explain. You made this journey so much easier, and I'll never forget the way you supported me. You've always been my sister, but now I see you as even more of a true friend and blessing in my life." A sisterhood strengthened by love. Jinger's journey through pregnancy and motherhood had been a roller coaster, full of highs and lows. But through it all, one thing had been certain. The support of her sister, Joy Anna, had made all the difference. Their bond was more than just familial, it was a deep, emotional connection that carried them through some of the toughest times. For Jinger, her sister's emotional support during her pregnancy wasn't just a passing moment. It was a reminder of how strong and enduring sisterhood could be. As they both continued to navigate the challenges of motherhood, their shared experiences would continue to shape their relationship, and Jinger would forever be grateful for the sister who had been by her side through it all.